Hey Creagears, Robo here and welcome back to a brand new video. In this video we will show you how we made this special new weapon prop.
Hey! Away!
Hey! Sure, alright, let's do this. How hard can it be? First, I started with a huge MDF board of 250 centimeters by 120 centimeters. On this I had to draw out 2 cm wide spacers over the 120 cm side, and over the 250 cm side I had to divide this up into 1.5 cm chunks. Safe to say there were a lot of lines. After these were drawn on, I used a black sharpie to draw out all the slots that I had to route out later. But I quickly saw how many these were going to be, so I decided to skip every other line to have a spacer of not 2 but 4 cm between each line. And I had to skip the 4 lines in the middle of both the horizontal and vertical lines to have the supports not be in the way of any of the holes. But these were still a lot of lines to draw, but I made it. After all these lines were drawn on, I glued and screwed on the frame for the wall and the supports in the middle. After this I had the biggest job of the whole project, routing out all of the black slots. For this job I made a table of 2 planks for the wall to lay upon. After this I clamped another plank to both ends of the wall to act as a guideline for the router, so I have my slots nice and straight. Mostly. But now I do have a nice moment to explain the pattern I'm using. I got this pattern from a pegboard from Ikea. I used this before to store my replicas, but it began to become a little bit too cramped in there. So because of the really nice hook you can get sold separately there, I wanted to reuse this pattern, but because of the massive size of the board I had to modify the pattern a bit. For the height of the slots I used the earlier mentioned 1.5 cm or 50 mm. This size I got directly from the Ikea board because this is the most important size to make the hooks fit. Next is the width of the slots. For this I chose 6 mm, mostly because it was the smallest bit for my router. Next, the spacing between the slots from center to center is 8 cm or 80 mm for the same height, and for a row below it's 4 mm. In the pattern from Ikea it's half, but it began to become a bit too much for the size, so I needed to change the scale. But after all of the slots are in, I sanded the front and the back of the board to get rid of all the blowout from the holes we made and to prepare the surface for the next step, painting. For the base coat of the board I chose a stone color acrylic paint. First because the black one was sold out at the store, but second, after thinking about it, with the wall being stone instead of black, the black of the replicas will come out better and it will look even more like the army inspiration, which is the whole point of Sheldon design in Splatoon. After the fronts and sides were done, I wanted to try and paint the holes with a black spray paint. But this didn't work out, so I had to paint every single hole separately with the stone paint. Ugh. For the next step in the project, I wanted to do something special with the board, so I used my beamer to trace out the Ammo Knights logo onto some painter's tape and cut out the negative. I thought it was a nice addition to the project because Ammo Knights handles all the weapons in Nicopolis. So for this, I first traced the lines on with a pencil, and after this I went over the lines with my X-Acto knife. After I had all the cuts made, or even during cutting as you can see in the footage, I removed the insides to make a place where the paint can be able to stick to. And since we have an extra moment, do you want to know how many holes I had to route out in total? Yeah, about 2200. And I think this took me about 8 hours in total. Sheesh, this was a very large project. But as a final extra touch, I wanted to create my logo of WVD Creations in the Splatoon language. For this I did the same as for the Ammo Knights logo. Put on some masking tape, trace the logo with a pencil and cut it out with an X-Acto knife. I thought this would be a very fun addition, and it would even seem like a collaboration between WVD Creations and Ammo Knights on all of the Splatoon replicas. After I had all these parts cut out, I painted these with a gold spray paint. For this, I don't really have an explanation why. I just really like the combination of the stone or black with the gold. And it's what I used on all of my previous replica storages. After the paint had a chance to dry, we can peel off the masking tape.
Whee!
Yeah, we always like this part. And with a few screw changes from zinc to brass to fit with the gold, I can finally say that the Ammo Knights Replica wall is officially finished. Oh no, you're not going to also do my outro. Hey Creagears, Robo here, and we want to thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed the video, and we want to apologize for the lack of a second video this month. With everything, we had a bit of a harder time to finish this project, but we hope you enjoyed this video all the same and are still looking forward to the next video. As that brings us to our second point. Thank you guys so much for getting the channel to reach 150 subscribers. As a thank you for all of your support, we are planning on making a very special video to celebrate this milestone. We hope you are looking forward to it. But that's going to be all from us now. Keep those creative gears turning, and we will see you in the next video.